Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming here today and helping celebrate the 2018 Enabling Young Women Leadership Program. Before we start, I would like to remind everyone to please turn off their phones. And I'll just give you a second to do that. And I would like to introduce a very special friend of mine who I think might be running a little bit late, but I think I might be able to spot her coming in right now. Is she there? Ah.
First off, I need my speech. Thank you. Hello, my name is Theodore. I'm here to welcome you all and thank you for helping to celebrate with the participants of the 2018 Enabling Young Women Leadership Program. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land that we are meeting on here today, people of the Kulin Nation, and I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and any who might be with us today. Now I may look young, but been around since 1979 when I was adopted by the United Nations General Assembly. Next year I turn 40. I've spent many years travelling around the world talking about eliminating discrimination against women. Over the last 6 weeks, the participants of the Enabling Young Women Leadership Program and I have gotten to know each other. We've had a lot of conversations about rights, barriers, advocacy, as well as how believing in our strengths and newly gained knowledge, we can be better leaders. In fact, here comes one of the members of the group now, Raz. Welcome to the stage. Hi, Cedo. Hi, Raz. Nice to meet you. What good timing you have. I've just been messaged that someone else needs me. Gotta go. Bye.
Hi, I'm Raz and I will be your MC for today's event. Once again, we would like to thank everyone who is here today for your support of the Enabling Young Women program and us as individuals. We'd particularly like to acknowledge from Knox City Council, Mayor of Knox City Council, Councillor Jake Keogh, Councillor John Mortimer, Tanya Clark, Kathy Parton, CEO Tony Doyle, and from Yarra Ranges Council, Councillor Noel Cliff. Some people may be more familiar with the Enabling Young Women Leadership Program than others. We'd like to invite Bridget Jolly, the lead facilitator of the program, to come up and explain more about the program. We'd now like to invite our guest speaker, Jen Allison, to come up. Jen works as the Environmental Volunteer Support Officer at Yarra Ranges Council.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for having me here. I'd first of all like to just begin by acknowledging that we're meeting on the traditional land of the Wurundjeri people and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. And I'd also really like to congratulate all the young women today for completing this really important course. I think it was really lovely watching that video. It looks like you had a really fun time. And congratulations and well done to all the different partnerships as well that went into putting that course together. It's a really, really important thing and I'm really honoured to be here today. I'm really excited to hear all of your individual stories throughout the rest of the day. I want to hear the journeys that you've been on throughout this course and find out what ambitions and plans you have for the rest of from now on. But for now, I thought I would talk a little bit about my journey. My story is one that's definitely not followed a direct path. I've taken many twists and turns along the way, some partly because of my disability, but mostly because of my changing passions. So I'm originally from the UK, and at the age of 6, I really wanted to be an actor. I was a natural show-off, and so I joined every youth group going I could find, and I was really incredibly determined and driven to be that actor. However, my disability is a genetic condition that didn't become apparent until I was a teenager, at which point my school decided it would be considerably dangerous for me to continue acting, and they banned me. I was devastated, heartbroken. But my family wouldn't let me give up on my dream, and so they found me a private drama teacher. Within less than 6 months, I had auditioned and been accepted for the National Youth Theatre of Great Britain, which, for those that don't know, is the leading drama group for young people in the UK. Each year, over 2,000 people audition, and only 5% get accepted, so I was really excited. So within a few years, I'd gone to one of Britain's top drama schools, had performed in London's West End, starred in award-winning short films, and had even appeared on TV shows on the BBC. Not bad achievements, considering my school's initial fears. It was really great to prove my doubters wrong and to push back on those boundaries that were put in front of me, and to prove that my talent was neither enhanced nor inhibited by my disability. But as I mentioned earlier, my passions changed, and I soon started to fall out of love with acting and fall in love with the environment, especially working with young people. I'd become a nanny in the years that I was acting, because it's not a particularly reliable career, and I'd realised then how much fun it is to work with young people and how much I loved to watch them learn and then in turn teach others. Around this time, I'd also moved to Australia and had completely been blown away by the stunning environment that you have here. The trees, the wildlife, the weird and wonderful creatures, everything was obsessed. I was obsessed with it and I loved it all. And I was determined to work in this world. But again, my disability means it's tricky for me to get down on the ground and do planting and weeding like most other environmental volunteers, so I needed to find my own way of working that suited my body, which was when I discovered environmental education. It was the perfect way for me to combine my background in performance, my love of working with children and young people, and my newfound passion of Australia's wildlife. And it was something I could do without worrying about any physical issues because it was my group. I was in charge. So I started a group called Platypus Education Group in 2015. I worked hard to obtain funding, and I connected with like-minded environmentalists and teachers to help me shape the programme. We officially launched in 2016 and began visiting local schools. In that first year, we visited 24 schools and spoke to roughly 1,500 children about how to protect platypus. The next year, we expanded this programme so we could visit more schools, including in Knox now, but we also created a junior ambassador programme. This was a way of continuing educating children who were deeply dedicated to conservation issues. We have now been running the ambassador programme for almost 2 years and have worked with up to 40 children aged 8 to 12. We meet monthly and they have learnt numerous ways to protect and enhance their local environment, as well as inspiring the community to do the same. In just 2018, they've planted 500 trees, collected over 2,000 items of litter, and made and sold 24 nest boxes for animals. Add to that, the ambassadors were even instrumental in a statewide ban of a dangerous yabby fishing net. I'll quickly explain. Platypus love to eat yabbies, but they can get caught in this certain type of net and unfortunately drown. Every year, hundreds of platypus die this tragic way. Our kids were devastated when they heard about this, and so they set about campaigning for change. They drew posters, wrote letters, and started petitions. Because of all this, earlier this year I was actually invited to come and meet with the State Deputy Premier in Parliament to discuss the issue with him. A couple of months later, he announced that the government were going to ban these nets. Now, we weren't the only group campaigning for this change, not by a long shot, but I feel like we had the most enthusiastic and eager participants. And now those kids understand that they have the ability and the power to make a positive impact on this planet. They have learned, and to quote Dr. Zeus from the Lorax, that unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing's going to change. It's not. Platypus Education Group has taken off more than I could have ever imagined. We are providing an education opportunity that I don't believe exists anywhere else in Victoria, and we are helping to shape future environmental stewards who are passionate, intelligent, and eager to make a positive change. And all of this happened because I simply couldn't get down on the ground and plant. It's in fact, I actually got my job at Yarra Ranges Council because of Platypus Education Group. It's amazing what can happen and who you can meet once you start putting yourself out there, proving you have the energy and drive to make a change. Now, every day, I get to work in the environment, I get paid to work with like-minded people and try and make the world a little bit better. It's an absolute dream. And I even get invited to events like this. So how awesome is that? It was frustrating when I was younger to not be able to do what everyone else was doing, and it was upsetting to be told that I shouldn't pursue my dream because I have a disability. But neither of these things stop me, and they mustn't stop you either. Once you find your passion, make sure you fight for it. You may have to do it differently to everyone else. You may have to forge your own path. You may have to create something that no one else has ever done. But ultimately, that will be the reason that your dream becomes a reality. And you'll never know how many other people it will benefit until you give it a go. Frankly, the world has heard enough from able-bodied men now. I think it's time we heard some different voices. Yeah, give that. Nearly 20% of Australia's population has a disability, and yet I don't believe that we're really hearing from them. That's why I hope that you young women will come into this, and you can make a difference. I hope that through this course you have learnt the importance of leadership, challenging assumptions, and fighting for what you believe in. It's vital that we all listen and learn from a diverse crowd because they bring so much knowledge, experience, and wisdom with them. I believe that for all our challenges, we have learnt amazing skills that can help to empower us. Where we have been told no, we have found resilience. Where we have been told there's only one way to complete the task, we have found creativity to invent a new way. And when others have said we couldn't do something, we have used our determination and done it anyway. So, as I said at the start, I'm really excited to hear your stories and see where you go from here and what awesome acts you'll achieve. But to finish, I'd once again like to quote Dr. Seuss because he always knows what to say when I frequently don't. Oh, the places you'll go. You'll be on your way up, you'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers, you'll soar to high heights. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang and you'll soon take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be best of the best. Wherever you go, you will top all the rest. Congratulations again, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jen, for coming and sharing your thoughts with us today. It's so great to hear from another young leader who we can relate to. Throughout the program, we explored some of the common barriers that we face as young women with disabilities. We talked about barriers that we as individuals and as a group experience when wanting to be leaders. Sometimes when we face so many barriers, it can feel like we're up against a brick wall. There's an example of the wall. Facing this brick wall, it can feel like we will never get to be where we want to be. But throughout the course of the program, we looked at ways of breaking down and overcoming these barriers. By removing these barriers, it means that we can be better able to be the emerging leaders that we want to be. Some of the key barriers to leadership that we looked at and how we can remove these.
So we have barriers to leadership. One of the barriers that we looked at is the experiences of bullying and not being safe. And sometimes these experiences are difficult to go through and to know how to overcome them. But during the program, we looked at ways that we can recognise when we're not feeling safe and what to do when this happens and how we can stand up for ourselves. Bullying and not feeling safe.
Lack of community connection. With lack of community connections, by establishing connections with others in the group, our local councils and services in the area, we have greater knowledge of available networks and are better supported. We can then use these networks and supports to assist us in our day-to-day lives and working towards our goals. We can also offer back to members of the group and our communities our skills and knowledge.
Not knowing my rights. Better to understanding my learning. To more about human rights, we know about what's that one? Collected, entitled, and how to speak up if we can feel our rights are not being respected.
Navigating the NDIS. Sorry, guys. Understanding and navigating the NDIS. By gaining a better understanding of the NDIS, we are able to better utilise the support systems it provides, which then enables us to focus on achieving our goals.
Lack of self-care. By talking about and practicing self-care, we learned of the importance of being kind to ourselves, how it can improve our health, self-esteem and self-respect. This gives ourselves value and makes us healthier and stronger.
Unconfident. Yeah. Safe space, not safe space. Like, yeah. Like this. Being unconfident, we explored many things to help us be more confident. Our strengths, how we identify, how we are, each unique and have things to offer. How to communicate more effectively and how to advocate. By being more confident, we are able to speak up on our own behalf and those of others and become further engaged with the community, sharing our strengths, skills and knowledge.
Thank you, everybody. It's a great pleasure to be here today. I'd like to also pay my respects to the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. and also to thank Knox City Council and Yarra Ranges Council for their support for the Enabling Young Women program. I was very much reminded listening to Jen talk about her experiences growing up of my own, also a POM, sorry. There is that age that you hit, I think, as a young woman with a disability where people you get out of that magical period of childhood, and then all of a sudden people start saying, no, you can't, and mostly they're wrong. And it's so important not only to have supportive communities, as we do here, but also that you know you can do anything you want, and you need to reach out to the right people, and mostly just believe in yourself, and I'm sure you do. We're just thrilled to have you join the Women with Disabilities community, and congratulations to all of you. So our first graduate to be presented with the certificate is Chantal Choueri.
Hello, my name is Chantal. I want to do the labelling of young women because I wanted to gain more independence. An example of this is getting the bus to the program each week by myself. I also want to do the program to gain more confidence. The program has helped me to learn more about human rights, including ones that I didn't know about. I also improved my communication and how to communicate better in a group. After the program finished, I will continue to work on my skills. Now I feel more confident to speak up if something feels wrong. Thank you for listening.
Our next graduate is Carrie-Lise Nettleton.
Hello, my name is Carrie-Lise Nettleton. Something I'd like you to know about me is that I recently got my driver's license and am more confident now. By doing this course, I've met new and interesting young women. I wanted to participate in the Enabling Women course because I wanted to learn more about different kinds of disabilities and how the women overcome them. For example, there are 2 autistic women in our class, and by drawing that helps them to concentrate and focus on the results. The program has helped me to become more confident and set goals. It has also helped me to be more confident with who I am. Just because I am different, I'm still great. After this course, I want to keep improving myself, including confidence and self-esteem, and I would really like to get a job.
Next graduate is Roxy Crawford.
Good afternoon, my name is Roxanne Crawford. Please call me Roxy. I heard about this program from my Cert 1 trainer, Deb Cook. My goals that I wanted to achieve by doing this program were to become more confident within myself and get better with the time management. I feel that I did improve with my goals, which I will not stop to improve with doing them. After the program, I'd like to talk about my journey that I had along the way and hang up my scarf with pride, which, as you can see there over there on the wall. During the course of the program, I've learned to look after myself by taking time and doing activities that I enjoy. taking time out and doing activities that I enjoy. Thank you all for listening, and also a big thanks to Bridget and Tani and other helpers and friends I've met along the way. Thanks for listening to this awkward speech. Doesn't matter.
Our next graduate is Rachel Raz Wallace-Smith.
I want to create more safe spaces for people to learn and grow to their full potential. I particularly want to work with youth and open up my home and house people who need that chance in life that's hard for people to access due to the way the population passes judgments on what they don't know. I did this Enabling Young Women program to widen my knowledge and up my life skills so that I can pass what I learn on to others who don't get the same opportunity as easily as I could. The program has helped me to gain more physical skills, and thanks to this program, I'm one step closer to achieving my goals.
We'd also like to acknowledge a couple of graduates who couldn't be with us today, unfortunately, Anae Keys and Sophie Baker, but we have a speech from Sophie that Bridget will read on her behalf.
Hello, my name is Sophie. Something I'd like you to know about me is that I am friendly and I have some new friends in the program. I wanted to do Enabling Young Women because I wanted to make new friends, to gain more confidence, to speak up more, not be shy anymore, be more independent and learn new things. The program has helped me to learn a lot more about advocacy, barriers, and what my strengths are. Something I will do as a result of the program is to talk to people about the program and what I have learned throughout the 6 weeks.
Thank you. And finally, we'd also like to acknowledge Hannah Hartley, who was also a participant in the course. And I'd like to thank Bridget, particularly, for her facilitation of the course and all of the participants and mentors who took part. Thank you.